What if the real reason your relationships feel heavy right now is not because you care too much, but because you have been carrying bonds that were never balanced to begin with? What if April is the month Libra stops confusing peace with silence, stops mistaking patience for love, and finally sees who is adding to your life and who is only living off your energy? This is not a soft, passive month for you. This is a turning point, because the connections around you are being tested, clarified, and quietly rearranged. And by the end of this month, Libra, you may not be standing beside the same people you started with. April 2026 places you face to face with one of your deepest life lessons. Relationships must be mutual to remain healthy. For Libra, that truth hits close to the heart. You are naturally wired for connection. You notice tension before anyone else does. You read the room. You soften conflict. You try to keep the emotional temperature comfortable for everyone. But this month, something shifts. You begin to notice how often you have been the one adjusting, the one understanding, the one forgiving first, the one keeping things together while others simply enjoyed the benefit of your grace. And once you see that clearly, it becomes impossible to unsee. That is why this month feels different from the beginning. There is a sharper awareness in your conversations, a stronger emotional intelligence, a deeper instinct about what is real and what is only being maintained out of habit. The people in your life will begin revealing themselves through the smallest details, through tone, through timing, through effort, through whether they truly hear you when you speak or only wait for their turn to be understood. And what makes this so powerful is that your heart already knows the truth before your mind is ready to admit it. At first, you may try to stay balanced the way you always do. You may tell yourself to be patient, to give it another chance, to not overreact. But the deeper lesson of April is that your peace cannot survive inside relationships where your needs are always the negotiable part. That realization may sting, because Libra does not like unnecessary endings. You do not enjoy cutting people off just to prove a point. You would rather heal than divide, restore than reject. But this month is not asking you to become cold. It is asking you to become honest. And honesty changes everything. For some of you, it begins with one conversation that has been waiting to happen for far too long. A talk about effort. A talk about respect. A talk about what has gone unsaid because saying it might disturb the surface harmony. But now that harmony is no longer enough. You want depth, clarity, emotional fairness. You want to know that what you are giving is being met with something real. And when you finally speak from that place, something shifts. The entire energy changes. Either the relationship opens and becomes more truthful, or it reveals that it was only surviving because you kept carrying the emotional weight alone. That is one of the first emotional peaks of the month. And then comes the drop, the moment after truth, the silence after the text, the pause after the honest conversation, the uncertainty that follows when you stop overfunctioning and wait to see what the other person does. This part matters more than you think, because it is in that space that people show you who they are. Some will rise to meet you. Some will finally speak with sincerity. Some will correct what has been off balance. But others will pull away the moment you stop making everything easy for them. And painful as that may be, it is also a gift. Because now you know. In love, April can be especially revealing. If you are single, this is not the month for shallow attraction or vague emotional games. You may feel less impressed by chemistry alone and more drawn to consistency, emotional maturity, and calm presence. Someone may enter your world who does not overwhelm you, but steadies you. Someone whose energy feels safe instead of addictive. And strangely enough, that may feel more powerful than any dramatic spark. Because you are learning that peace is not the absence of passion. It is the presence of trust. If you are already in a relationship, the theme becomes even more direct. Where is the balance? Where is the reciprocity? Where have the two of you become polite instead of deeply connected? April asks you to stop skimming the surface and go underneath. There may be a hard conversation that actually saves the bond. There may be an overdue truth that creates more intimacy than avoidance ever could. But there is also the possibility that one relationship reaches a crossroads. Not because love disappeared, but because balance did. And without balance, even love begins to feel lonely. That is the deeper ache Libra may face this month. The sadness of realizing that being loved is not the same as being considered, not the same as being protected, not the same as being met halfway. Once that lands, you start choosing differently. This same pattern shows up in friendships and work dynamics too. You will become more aware of who drains your emotional energy with constant need, constant drama, or constant inconsistency. You will also become more aware of the people who genuinely nourish you, the ones who make your nervous system feel calm, the ones who do not require performance to stay close to you. That contrast becomes impossible to ignore, and that is where your power returns. Because April is not only about seeing imbalance, it is about correcting it. That correction begins with boundaries. Not cold walls, not punishment. Boundaries. Clear, healthy, grounded limits that protect your time, your emotions, and your peace. This may be the month you say no without explaining for 10 minutes. The month you stop replying instantly to everyone. The month you stop volunteering your emotional labor where there is no appreciation. The month you stop trying to win over people who only value you when you are convenient. That may sound simple, but for Libra, it is profound. Because every boundary you set this month teaches your heart a new truth. Love does not require self-erasure. And here comes another rise in the story, because once you begin to honor your own limits, your energy changes fast. You become calmer, clearer, more magnetic. People notice. Some will respect you more. Some will be drawn to your new steadiness. And some will resist it, because your old softness was easier for them to benefit from. Let them reveal themselves. That is part of the rebalancing too. You are also strongly supported now in collaboration, negotiation, and repairing the right connections. This is not a month where every relationship falls apart. Quite the opposite. The ones with real potential can become stronger than they have been in a long time. Your gift for diplomacy is powerful now, but it works best when it is paired with self-respect. You are not here to smooth over everything. You are here to create harmony that is honest. Harmony built on truth lasts. Harmony built on suppression always cracks later. By the second half of April, many Libras will feel the fog lifting. You may notice that you are no longer as emotionally available for chaos. You may stop chasing people who keep sending mixed signals. You may stop romanticizing old bonds that have already taught you everything they came to teach. And in that release, something beautiful begins. Space. Real emotional space. Space for healthier love. Space for cleaner friendships. Space for partnerships that do not leave you depleted. This is where the healing deepens. Because underneath all of this is an older wound many Libras carry. The belief that keeping everyone comfortable is the same thing as being worthy of love. April breaks that pattern. It shows you that your worth does not increase when you overgive. Your value does not depend on how much tension you can absorb. The right people do not need you to shrink, bend, or stay silent in order to remain close to them. In fact, the right people become closer when you tell the truth. So if this month feels emotional, it is because something important is being restored inside you. Your standards, your voice, your sense of balance, your trust in what your heart has known all along. Not everyone deserves the same access to you. Not every connection deserves another chance. And not every goodbye is a loss. Some goodbyes are the exact moment your life begins to feel like your own again. Libra, April 2026, is asking you to choose what truly chooses you back. To protect your peace without apology. To speak with grace, but speak clearly. To stop preserving relationships that survive only when you ignore yourself. This is the month to let honesty heal what can be healed, and let distance remove what never belonged. And when you do, the month does not leave you empty. It leaves you lighter, wiser, more open to the kind of love and partnership that feels steady, mutual, and deeply deserved. If this message found you at the right moment, take that as your sign. Like this video, share it with another Libra who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more readings that help you understand what is shifting before it fully arrives. Sometimes one message changes the way you see your whole month, and this may be that one.